Hello viewers, welcome to Fame Global Academy. I'm Chioma, your mathematics teacher. So we are going to be dealing with JAMB past questions, okay? So in JAMB, before you open 2 to 3 or 5 years in JAMB past question, there is a particular question that always occur almost all the year under set. Set. Then inside set, set is broad. But the particular one they normally set in JAMB is the one that concerns Venn diagram. So that is the type of question we are going to be solving today. So we have question number 1. The question says, the number of students offering music and history in a class of 80 students. 80 students is shown in the Venn diagram below. Okay? If a student is picked at random, comma, what is the probability that he or she offers music only? What is the probability that he or she offers music only? Okay. It said the number of students offering music and history in a class of 80 students is shown in the Venn diagram below. If a student is picked at random, what is the probability that he or she offers music only? Okay, so now let's draw the Venn diagram. So this is our Venn diagram. The first circle represents music and the second circle represents history. So this M stands for music, H stands for what? History. Okay, now we are having 30 minus x here, and we are having 40 minus x here, and we have x at the middle here and 20 outside. Okay, now let me explain this Venn diagram before we start the solving. This Venn diagram, you remember that in sets, when the two circles, where the two circles meet together is the intersect. Okay, so this S is telling you that the number S, whatever you're going to get as your S, they are the number of people that study both music and history. Okay, all right, so let's solve. Now, before you will know the probability of the student that offers only music, you're going to first of all know the probability of the student that offer both music and history. Then before you now know the one that study only music, because this 30 minus S is telling you that 30 minus S is the one that study only music. 40 minus S is only history, but this X is both history and music. Why this 20 is they don't study music, they don't study history, but they are part of the 80 students. So first of all, we are going to look for our S first. So how do we look for our S? So say solution. I think I'll have to clean the question. I believe you have gotten the question. So let's clean it up and get a space for the solving. Okay, so for you to do this fast, all you need to do is add everything here equal to 80, because we have number of students from our question is 80. So it says solution. Remember, you don't have to waste time because it's objective, so you just go straight. So you have 30 minus S plus 40 minus S plus 20, everything equal to 80, which is the total number of students in the class. So let's have 30 minus S plus this S plus 40 minus S plus this 20 outside, everything equals to 80. I believe you know where this 80 is coming from. That's the total number of students in the class. Okay, so let's add together. Now this is minus S plus S is already cancelling each other. Minus S is cancelling plus S. So we are having what? 30 plus 40 minus S plus 20 equals to what? 80. So this is minus X. You can add the numbers together. 30 plus 40 plus 20. 30 plus 40 is 70. 70 plus 20 will give us 90. So we have 90 minus S equals to 80. So how do we get our S? Take the S to this side, bring the 80 to this side. So you have 90 minus 80 equals to X. The S is minus here. When it comes here, it becomes plus. The 80 is plus here. When it comes here, it becomes minus. So 90 minus 80, the answer is what? 10 is equals to S, or S is equals to 10. If 10 is equals to S, then S is equals to 10. So we have gotten the value of S, 10. So that's to tell you that 10 people or 10 students offer both music and history. Okay? Now, if you want to know the number of people that offer only music, you have to subtract 10 from 30. So you come here and say only music is equals to what? 30 minus 10, which is equals to what? 30 minus 10 is what? 20. Now you don't need to find only history or whatever. You just go straight to the question. Now you have known the people that offer only music. Remember, the question says the number of students offering music and history in a class of 80 students is shown in the Venn diagram below. If a student is picked at random, what is the probability that he or she offers only music? So we have gotten the number of students that offer only music. So the probability of only music is equals to what? The probability music divided by the total number of students, which is 20 over what? 80. I believe we are together. Once you get the probability of all the students that offer only music as 20, then to get their probability is only music all over the total number of students. So that will give us 20 over 80, which is the same thing as what? 2 over 8. This 0 will cancel this 0. And 2 over 8 is what? When you want to use your long division, let's do it here. Want to use 8 to divide 2. Okay? 8 divided by 2 cannot. So you have 0 point here. You add 0 here. Okay? 8 divided 20. That will give us 2. 2 remainder. 2 times 8 is 16. So we are having remainder what? 4. So you go again. 8 into 4 cannot. Add 0 to make it what? 40. 8 into 40, that will give you 5. 5 times 8 is 40. When you subtract, you have 0, 0. So 2 divided by 8, the answer is what? 0.25. So the probability of a student that is picked at random that offers only music is 0.25. So that is the answer to this question. Now, inside this question, they can decide to ask you different questions. Now, what if they ask you, if a student is picked at random? We have gotten our answer already. I'm just trying to get, maybe in case a different question is being asked inside here. Let's assume the question is the reverse of what we have here, that if a student is picked at random, what is the probability that he or she study only history? The one they gave to us is only music. That's what we just solved. Now, what if the question was only history? You don't have to panic. All you just need to do is, since you have gotten your S equals to 10, go to history. History is 40 minus X. So in that case, you now have 40 minus 10, which will give you 30. So only history is 30. So for you to find the probability of only history, it will be 30 divided by 80, just like what we did here. So that is how to solve this particular question. Inside this Venn diagram, a whole lot of questions can come inside. They can also ask you, what is the probability of, if a student is picked at random, what is the probability that the student does not study music or history? That one will boil down to this 20. If that is the case, you don't even have to go through the stress of looking for S. Let me repeat myself. Assuming the question comes in the form that, if a student is picked at random, what is the probability that the student does not study music and he does not study history? In that case, it is even simpler. You just go straight and use this 20 divided by 80, which will also give you this 0.25. That case, you don't need to look for S, because X is only needed for people that study music and history. Okay, so that is that for this question. So if you check very well, you will see this particular question. If it comes out in exam, please know how to solve it. When we talk about probability, probability is the possible outcome over total outcome. That is what happened here. The possible outcome is those that study only music, which is 20, and the total outcome is all the number of students in that class, which is what, 80. Then you divide and get your answer. That is what probability is all about. So this is combination of two topics, probability and set, inside this question. So when you see something like this, please don't be scared. It's very simple to calculate. Just add everything together, get the value of your S. If it's this one, they're asking the probability, subtract and get and divide by the total number. If it's this one, you also subtract. If it's this one, you divide directly. Okay, so that is that for this question. If you have any question under this, if you are confused in any part of the solving, please write it in the comment section. Okay, so let's go to another question. Question number 2. It said, in a group of 72 students, this is another year question, still under the Venn diagram. In a group of 72 students, 47 study physics, 59 study chemistry, and 42 study both physics and chemistry. Okay, now the question says, how many students, this is full stop, how many students do not study any of the subjects? Okay, how many students do not study any of the subjects? All right, so this is the Venn diagram representation of this question. So we have the first circle representing our physics. We have the second circle representing our chemistry. P for physics, C for chemistry. Okay, so let's look at what is going on here before we can write our numbers. It said in a group of 72 students, note, the students are 72 in numbers. Now, it said out of the 72, it said 47 study physics. So 47 of them, 47 study physics. 59 study chemistry. So we have 59 here. And 42 studied both physics and chemistry. Now, this both physics and chemistry is this middle, that is the intersection of physics and chemistry. So we have 42 here. Okay. Now the question is, how many students do not study any of the subjects? Now, the one that did not study any of the subjects is supposed to be outside these two circles. You can write it anywhere inside the Venn diagram, but it must not be inside the two circles. Just like the way we had 20 in the first question. So we will have that letter as S. So we are going to look for X. Okay. Now, before you know how many students that do not study any of them, you're going to first of all know the number of students that study only physics and only chemistry. And how do you know that? Now, let's solve. Say solution. You say only physics. Only physics is equals to, this is both physics and chemistry. And this is what? Physics. Now, for you to know only physics, you are going to what? Subtract this 42 from this 47 to know those that study only physics. So you have 47 minus 42, and that will give us what? 5. So it is only 5 students that study only physics without chemistry. Then for you to know only chemistry, you will do the same. Only chemistry is what? 59 minus 42. 59 minus 42, minus 9 minus 2, that will give us 7. 5 minus 4, that will give us 1. So 17 people offer only chemistry. Now, for you to know how many people that does not offer any of them, you are now going to replace this 47 by 5 and replace this 59 by 17, add it together with this 42, including the S, everything equal to the total number of students. Okay, so we will now have, therefore, number that study only physics is what? 5, plus number that study only chemistry is what? 17, plus number that study both physics and chemistry is what? 42, plus the one that does not study any of them, which is what? X. Everything equals to what? Total number of students, which is what? 72. Okay, so let's add together. If we add everything here together, this is 42. 42 plus 17, that will give us 59. Yes, 59. Then 59 plus 5, that will give us 64. So we have everything here is what? 64 plus S equals to 72. So how do we get our S? S is equals to 72 minus 64. S is equals to, when you subtract the 72 minus 64, will give us what? 8. So S is 8. So that's our answer. I said, how many students do not study any of the subjects? 8 students do not study physics, they don't study chemistry. So that is the answer to this particular question. So please don't make the mistake. We have gotten our answer. So let me explain some things. Now, when you see a question like this, please don't jump and start adding this plus this plus this plus this. Everything equals to 72. You will get a wrong answer. You might even solve it like that, and you will see an option like that with your answer. You'll be thinking that, I've gotten my answer. It is wrong. Before you solve, you have to know this is the number that study physics. This is the number that study chemistry. Once a number is given here, you have to subtract this from this to know the people that study only physics. Because you agree with me that if you add this and this and this and this, you are going to get more than 100 students. But what we have here is 72. Are you with me now? So that you don't rush and add everything together and you will get an answer, and you will even see it in the option. You'll be happy, I've gotten the answer, whereas you are doing the wrong thing. So before you solve for something like this, make sure you subtract. That is why you check that question one, that when we had S here, we have to say here was 30, here was 40. So you say 30 minus S. 40 minus x. So you must subtract whatever that is here from what is in the union of the two before you can add together and get your final answer. If you don't do that subtraction, you are going to get a wrong answer. All right, so that is that for this question.